What's going on, guys, and welcome to Formula 7 Racing. We are live here in Le Mans. Welcome. This is a long one tonight, so do please bear with me because I am absolutely shattered. But it should be a cracker of a race. An hour and 40 minutes though. It is very long. But the drivers should be well up for this one. So I'm just getting everything up. Remember, it is the GT3 cars that will set their laps first, and then the hypercars are actually all on the way out. So it must be the hypercars setting their laps first, which is not what I was expecting. No, it is the GT3 cars. My apologies. Yes, the GT3 cars are on the way out of the pit lane. And we'll try and get on board with some of the leaders. So Macau Hotch, Nicholas Duncan, some big names. Cody Frame on his debut. Marcus Lillebeck, who is back on track. He did leave for a brief spell and then he's come back. And Dennis Arifi, the Albanian, with that beautiful livery. Felix Hoffman as well. Marcus Lillebeck is already racing Cody Frame here. So the Corvette on the back of the Aston Martin, and this looks like it's going to be a very, very good race. I cannot wait for this. Then you've got the regulars like Noah Schaefer, Ivan Stefanov, Mael Castro, Mato Gubro, Lorenzo Giganti, who got a podium last time out, Jamie Brass as well. Robert Rockford is on track as well. Richard Hubler, Marin Kitagawa, Tim Schaap, Marek Olos, Daniel Krupa, Max Scavenger on his debut as well, and Stefano Lavarone. So there's a lot of regulars. Kevin Estre, Arthur Wood, Danny Brandhorst, all the regulars. So it should be a very, very good race. Yeah, wrong tower, Nath. Yeah, bear with me. What do you mean wrong tower? Ah, yeah, sorry. My bad, my bad, my bad. So we will try and get on board with the leader, and I think that is... I'm trying to figure out that is the number 3 car. So it's going to be Arnie that will lead us underway. I do like that livery that he is wearing today. So let's ride on board with Arnie when he gets us underway. And it is, you know what I've noticed? A lot of the tracks in Le Mans, and I said of course, they all have a Dunlop curve. I'm sure they just go around the circuits and go, yeah, that's a Dunlop curve, yeah, that's a Dunlop curve. Yeah, so, but it's not the curve that we will use around this circuit. And so we're coming up towards the S's, and then we'll go down in towards turn 1 and we'll get underway for round 4 here in Le Mans. And we have a lot of people really eager to see this race here today. So riding on board with Arnie, who is going to get us underway. So let's have a look. And you can see that boxer livery with that sort of zebra stripes as we go through the S's and down towards turn 1. Sorry guys, one of the kids came in. So, riding on board with Arnie as we go through the S's and down to the Tetra Rogue turn 1. And then it is that long straight towards the Liart chicane. He's back at Le Mans. So riding on board, this is where we're going to see a lot of the action tonight. And down this big long straight, when you hug into the slipstream, and you've got Macau Hotch just in the distance behind. So you've got that little kink in the road that can just throw you out a little bit. and then you go down the Mulsanne Straight, Mulsanne Straight, we'll call it. Mulsanne. I think that's how you pronounce it. So down in towards the little kink, and then they'll continue down the Mulsanne Straight, and then this is where we head towards another chicane, the La Frondière chicane. Let's go, Arnie, says Shimbo. Big support for Arnie here this evening. And that's what we want to see. So towards La Frondière chicane. Florandière, I think that is. I will get to grips with it as the race goes on. As you go down towards the Mulsanne kink. The left-hander. It's a very sharp left-hander, so if you are going for that late overtake, you will know about it. That straight is so long. The hypercars are going to have so much fun going down there, especially on the back of the GT3s. So they'll come out of the Mulsanne kink and they go down towards Indianapolis. So Arnie full throttle towards Indianapolis and Arnage. And the fans will be waiting for this one. So in towards the left-hander once more. It is a long track. So through the right-hander, through the Porsche chicane, and then back onto the throttle for Arnie. I'm just trying to see if we can get the no, that's fine. So 22 minutes of qualifying. They've got 15 minutes each. They're probably only going to get 2 laps in, you know, maybe 3. Richard Tychak says Tom Hill. So we're not too far off the checkered flag here for Arnie. He was a 37.6 in Sector 1. The only person to match that is Felix Hoffman and Mael Castro. So this is really interesting. So Arnie will be hitting the line. So through the S's we go, and you can see the checkered flag. Well, the start-finish line. And Arnie will set the benchmark. It's a 3:59.6. 4 minutes for Macau Hodge. Then we've got a couple more drivers coming through. Remember, we want to watch out for Mael Castro. Felix Hoffman comes through. And after a 4-minute lap, they're separated by 1/10 of a second. And Noah Schaefer comes through and goes provisional pole of the GT3 cars. The hypercars are watching from the pit lane. Cody Frame goes in front of Macau Hodge by 0.5. These are extremely close times considering you got Marcus Lillebeck now next to the line. Where is he going to put it? He goes up to P8 and the slowest of the drivers. Kevin Estre in that BMW in the slipstream of the driver in front, that Porsche of Mato Gubro, I think that is. I can just about see the livery on the car, and this is slowing down Kevin Estre. And through the S's, we do have a driver just in the distance as well. And onto the gravel they go. Where is Kevin Estre going to put it? Yellow flag waving. And Kevin Estre goes up to P8. Mael Castro, Macau Hodge, Cody Frame, Felix Hoffman, Richard Hubland, Marcus Lillebeck, Marin Kitagawa, Marek Odlos, Ivan Stefanov is off the track in that yellow Porsche. Arthur Woods. Where did Arthur Woods just put that? And he was down. He's not even set a lap time just yet. So Arthur Woods. So Dennis Arifit will start his lap. And Ivan Stefanov, Marek Marin, all in the pit lane. They've only got 4.5 minutes to go. So they'll get this lap and maybe one more. Maybe just this lap. And then the hypercars will come out. But it is Noah Schaefer that is currently on at provisional pole. You've got Arnie, who is leading the way once more. Well, I do wonder, we need to see really if he is improving. He is improving. So Arnie is 7.5 temps up as he comes through. Oh, and just onto the gravel slightly. It didn't cost him too much time, but he is purple sector 2. Out of the Porsche chicane. And he lost a little bit of time there. As you can see it dwindling away. And then you've got Macau Hotch just in the distance. With that overtake leukemia livery on the car. We do have hopefully 43 drivers on track today, because it is a track that can host more drivers. So 6.5 tenths. This would put him on provisional pole. So Arnie Brandhorst. I'm just going to do a quick sound check, make sure that everything sounds okay. If it doesn't, please let me know. So Arnie Brandhorst. Yeah, that sounds okay. So Arnie coming down towards the line, 6 temps. It will put him on provisional pole, but can he get the S's right? He can. Here we go again. He breaks a little bit early, but that might mean he gets a better exit. He does. So he is going to improve, and he is going to go on to the top spot. Goes Arnie. Here comes Macau Hotch. Macau Hotch has taken provisional pole by 1.5 tenths. The 777 driver with that overtake leukemia livery draped over that Mustang for his friend who is battling leukemia. A friend that used to race here who is battling leukemia, and we send our prayers and love out to him. And what a thing, what a message they would send to their friend if they managed to get provisional pole here at Le Mans. Noah Schaefer is in the pit lane. Felix Hoffman, I don't think Noah Schaefer is going to be able to improve. Felix Hoffman is going to try though. Cody Frame, Mael Castro is coming through. And Lorenzo Gigante, they are all going to go again. Arthur Woods is 2 seconds up. He is coming down in towards the final chicanes. And the Mercedes AMG driver, the number 79 car, is currently in P7. Well, he's currently in P8 now. And here we go. This has got to be perfect. 2.1 up. That would put him around P7. He needs to find another half a second if he wants to compete with Mael Castro. Arnie for P1. He will be there and thereabouts, Arnie Brandhorst. So down towards the line we go, and Arthur Woods is into the pit lane. He was 2 seconds up and he bounces into the pit lane. No, he doesn't. He crashes straight into the wall for some reason. Stefano Lavrone is up to P9. Nicholas Duncan in the pit lane. He's not going to be able to improve, so it is on to the hypercars in 1 minute's time. Kevin Estre in the pit lane. Richard Hubler, Robert Rockford, Marcus Lillebeck is out on track. The number 5 car of Cody Frame will probably get to the line to set one more lap, but then the hypercars are going to drip feed out of the pit lane. So this will be interesting. It's Marcel, 100 bits. Go on, Marin. Thank you so much, Marcel. And go on, Marin Kitagawa. I know I say it wrong, but you know who I mean. Thank you so much for the bits, Marcel. So all of the drivers, Marin Kitagawa, talking to Marin. He is at the back of this pack, but he is on a lap now. And I do wonder if he can find that improvement. What about Cody Frame? Is he going to make it? He's got 26 seconds to get to the line. If he wants to set one more lap, I don't know if he's going to make it. 15 seconds, and then the hypercars are going to come through. He probably will just about miss it. But for the sake of a second, if he gets there, he may as well continue at that point. But look at this. Nicholas Duncan and Tim Schaap and Kevin Estre all separated by 1/10 of a second. Mael Castro is making it to the line. He did make it to the line. Oh, sorry, no, that's a number 5 car, and he has missed it. He has just missed the line there. Cody frame. So all of the drivers now are going to finish their lap times. Macau Hodge is 2 tenths down on his lap time, so he is not finding improvement. Felix Hoffman is 4 tenths up. This is going to be extremely close. Draped in that Cherry Aid bar livery. And he is 4 tenths up now. This is a very interesting qualifying session. So, he is still finding that improvement. He's got to get it when he goes into the S's. And we shall see. So, down towards the line. And this is going to put it. It's going to stay in P4. He's not going to find any more improvement unless he goes through the S's and absolutely murders that chicane. We shall see. So through the S's and then down towards the flag we go. He is finding improvement. It's going to be close. Felix Hoffman stays P4 but only 3 tenths off pole position. And then comes Mato Gubro in the Ferrari. He backs out. You've got Marcus Lillebeck as well in the Aston Martin coming through. And Lorenzo Gigante runs wide. He's 2.5 seconds down. The hypercars are on the way out of the pit lane. It's their turn to go qualifying. All the other drivers into the pit lane. Max Scavenger, Marin Kitagawa will be next. He's 5.5 seconds up. Will he be able to show his class here, Marin? I'm sure he will. So Marin Kitagawa, to the line we go. He's got that S section to navigate through. 5 seconds would put him around Kevin Estre's time. So let's see. Marin in that BMW M4, 6 seconds is going to be the improvement, and Marin goes in front of Arthur Woods and up to P8. This, look at that, Macau Hodge has been beaten by Mael Castro by 4 thousandths of a second. Imagine going round a lap in 3 minutes, 58 seconds and 8 tenths and being separated by 4 1,000ths. That's a blink of an eye across a 4-minute lap. Is absolutely ridiculous. That is what we want to see. It really is. So we now move on to the hypercars, and the driver leading, Ryan Clemenson, the championship leader, is out on a lap, but it is Josh Harper-Jones that will get us underway first. But that is a tremendous qualifying for the GT3 cars. Hey TT, thank you for the follow. So waiting for 222 Duarte Amaral. I hope I pronounced that right. I do apologise if I butcher anybody's names. It's not intentional. We've got a massive grid here tonight, but we are on board with Josh Harper-Jones. He will get us underway at the first of the runners of the hypercar drivers. So here we go, on board Josh Harper-Jones in, is it a Peugeot? No, Genesis in it. So you said it right. Oh, I like it. There we go. I'm glad I got something right. So down in towards Tetre Rouge at turn 8. And he's hugged the apex and then back onto the throttle as we come down the Mulsanne straight. Around turn 9. You do not realise how big this circuit is, and down the straight, the Mulsanne straight towards 10, 11 and 12, that little kink in the road that can cause so many problems. We are on board with Josh Harper-Jones. Let's see how he navigates through turn 10, through that little kink, and then he wants to get back onto the throttle ASAP. That was gorgeous. Josh Harper-Jones back down the Mulsanne straight, the second part towards turn 13. It is so long. So it's a 32.7 for Josh Harper-Jones. Raymond Hertog 32.9. Ryan Clemenson at 32.9. We said it was beautiful. And Josh Harper-Jones has the fastest sector 1 time of anybody else so far. Down in towards turn 13. And he is making a statement here, Josh. Maybe run a little bit wide, but he will not mind that at the moment. Around turn 15 and then down towards the Mulsanne kink at turn 16 and 17. As he slams onto the brake pedal when he gets slightly uphill. And then through the right-hander, just missing them bollards. Nicely navigated for Josh Harper-Jones. Back onto the throttle we go. As we head down towards turn 18 and 19. And then you'll get right to the bottom of this long straight is where you'll hit Indianapolis at turn 20 and 21. And he's got the number 5 car of Lucas Didudge. Like I said, if I butcher it, I do apologise. Lucas Didudge. In the other hypercar, but it's Josh Harper-Jones that comes through Indianapolis and then in towards Arnage at turn 22. Through the right-hander, then you've got that straight again as we go down towards turn 23 at the Porsche curves, running a little bit wide there. What about Lucas? And the Porsche hypercar driver underneath the billboards that were specifically put there for him. As Josh coming in towards the S's now, 23, 24, 25, 26. Let's see how he navigates through these. Josh then easing off the throttle. No, he's absolutely flat out through there. That was very nicely navigated. Just lifts off ever so slightly as he comes through 25 and then in towards 26 and 27. Riding the curb to the left-hand side. Runs wide, just has to back out. That would have cost him some time as he comes through towards the Ford chicanes now. This is got to be right through the Ford chicanes into turn 30, 31, 32, 33. And that sausage curb to the right-hand side. Doesn't want to kick up too much gravel. Down towards the start-finish line. It is a 3-minute 28. Lucas will be next in the Porsche. What about his Sector 2 time in Sector 3? Lucas, it's Duarte Amaral. He's back into the pit lane. The number 7 car of Micah. And he will be next to the line. Ryan Clemenson has killed it through Sector 2. Foucault Faru and Micah goes P2. What about Foucault Faru? He's a 122.9 through Sector 2. Raymond Hertog is going to be another driver coming through. And that was a nice exit out of the final chicane. And Raymond Hertog goes fastest. What about Ryan Clemenson? He pinches it away once again. Ryan Clemenson in that Porsche hypercar has taken provisional pole. Next up will be Milan van der Weyken. He set a 121.1 through Sector 2, which wasn't too far off Ryan Clemenson as he comes towards the Ford chicanes. He did set a mighty Sector 1 time. It was actually 6 tenths quicker than Ryan Clemenson. So Milan van der Weyken, to the line we go. And it is P2, only 2.5 tenths off Ryan Clemenson. This is heating up. What about Thomas Kobrej? And out of the Ford chicanes goes Thomas Koberg. And Thomas Koberg puts it P1. He has taken provisional pole by 2 tenths of a second. Thomas Kubre has arrived. Now Richard Tychak will be next. He set a 33.0 through Sector 1, which is on par with Thomas, who's just taken pole. He set a 121.9, which is slightly slower than Thomas through Sector 2, but this is still a good lap from Richard. And this is what we were all waiting for. So Richard, out of the Porsche curves, down towards the Ford chicanes. It is a lot more difficult in the hypercar to go through the Ford chicanes. The GT3s are not as quick, so you can sort of navigate through them. With the hypercars, you've got to be so much more sensitive. But Richard did really well through there. And look at the exit. Richard to the line, and he will put it P6 and just behind Josh Harper-Jones. Then the number 12 car of Matthew Wells in the Cadillac. He likes to be different, Matthew. I like it a lot. But he was so slow through Sector 1, Matthew, a 50.2, so he must have made a mistake. He's going to have to go again. He's well down on his lap time. Josh Harper-Jones is down as well. We do have a couple more drivers. A few of the drivers are only just leaving the pit lane. Duarte Amaral is back out. And he is currently not set a lap time. Just under 5 minutes to go here in qualifying to find out who will be on pole position. So Thomas Buter is still in the pit lane. So is George Benham, Alexander. I think one of the drivers messaged me to say that he weren't well. I think it was Sendro. So that might be Alexander that is not here. Mirko, George Benham, Thomas Buter. And then you've got Foucault Faru, Duarte Amaral with the blue flags. What is the number 3 car? Oh, look at this. Milan van der Weyken in the car, in the Aston Martin, coming down towards the Ford chicanes. He is lighting up the circuit with purple sectors. Just what you want to see if you are a Milan van der Weyken fan. Out of the Ford chicanes at turn 32 and down towards the flag we go. And he takes provisional pole here in Le Mans. That is what we were waiting for. Half a second up on Thomas Kohlberg. The number 9 driver of Marcel Fuchs is 2 seconds up. But it is going to keep him in P9. The number 11 driver, it looks like Duarte Amaral. Yeah, he is coming through now. Down towards Arnage. And there is a driver just in front of him. I think that might be Richard. It is. Matthew Wells is back on a lap. 4:20. Let's go. Loz plays. How we doing? So we will jump on board with Duarte when he comes out. Mauk Veltrop is not here. Thomas Buter is not here as well. It's a real shame that they're not going to compete in qualifying. I know they were looking forward to it. Mirko also not here as well. That's a shame. A lot of hypercar spaces maybe for the drivers. So the number 11 of Duarte Amaral. Let's ride on board and see what he can do. So he is in the Toyota Yazoo Racing. So through the S's are the Dunlop chicane, and through the S's at turn 4, 5 and 6. And then down towards Tetre Rouge. So out of turn 8 we go. And then it's down the Mulsanne straight for Duarte Amaral in the Toyota. And it is flat out through here. It's a 33.0 for Sector 1, which is really where you want to be. The fastest is Milan, but he was 1 second quicker. 2 tenths quicker than Thomas, who's on provisional pole. Thomas Kohlberg has managed to come back and go half a second quicker than Milan van der Weyken. What about Ryan Clemenson? He's not going to go again. That is massive. And Raymond Hertog is 4 tenths up. And that will put him in the same position unless he gets something extra out of the Ford chicanes. P4 is still a great place to start, and that huge snap. And that is all she wrote. Is he going to get one more lap though? He's not. So Milan is not finding improvement either. He's got to try and get half a second here. Thomas is improving even more. He's round. Thomas is into the wall. And the pole, sir, might have already done enough. Wow. So what about Matthew Wells? He will be on a lap. So is Duarte Amaral. He is yet to set a lap time. So let's see what the Toyota driver can do as he comes out of the Mulsanne kink and down towards Indianapolis at turn 20. Down that straight we go. So in towards Indianapolis. Through the left-hander at turn 21. And he wants to keep it. Yeah, don't touch that gravel as we go down in towards Arnage at turn 22. And as we come out of here, back onto the throttle. Nicely done from the Toyota driver. And Duarte is putting it all down on the line. He's currently in P11, but he needs to find a little bit more. He wants to start further up in this grid as we go down towards the Porsche curves where the hypercar drivers have been struggling this evening. It is a tricky part of the circuit for such a quick car as we come through turn 23 and 24. But it is the Toyota driver of Duarte Amaral into 26 and 27. Halfway through the Porsche chicanes. He will come out, and then you've got that little kink of 28 and 29, which he navigates through and down towards the Ford chicanes. And it's like a Tetris shape here as you go through the right and left, and then right and left, and over the apex. That will have cost him a lot of time, but he is still going to finish the lap, and Duarte Amaral goes P9. Matthew Wells is finding the green. But is it going to be enough to improve his track position? I'm not quite sure. Yeah, I don't know why that is, Marcus. Marcus, your game crashed and so did Dennis's. That's weird. He can't make the race now. Why? So to the line, and Matthew Wells will stay P11. So that is it for qualifying. So it is Thomas Kohlberg that takes pole in the hypercar. Milan van der Weyken in P2 on the front row.
Teams and drivers go to the grid for a race start.
And then you have Mael Castro that is on pole in the GT3s and Mikhail Hoch. I've just sent an undisqualification thing to you, Marcus. I don't know if that helps. I'll send one to Dennis as well, just to see if it helps. I don't know if it will. But I don't really know how it works, to be honest. And if a P1 says ice, so we will go on board with the hypercars first. We have 13 hypercars and we have
Formation
24 GT3s, 37 in total. Oh, I can't wait for this. I cannot wait. This is the moment you've all been waiting for. So it will be Thomas Kohlberg and Milan van der Weyken. Ryan Clemenson, the championship leader, right behind the front two with Raymond Hertog, his competitor for the first couple of rounds, right alongside him. but it will be Thomas Kohlberg that will lead us to the line for round 4 here in Le Mans, the 100 minutes of Le Mans. And Thomas Kohlberg coming through the Ford chicanes for Flanders Esports. And then it is a short run up to the line, and this is it for Formula 7 racing here for our weekly multi-class racing. What is going on? Is it short formation lap? It should be. Oh, it's a crazy long formation lap. So he needs to get back in front here, Thomas. So here we go, down towards the line. Formula 7 racing, powered by Sim Racing Setups. And we go green here in Le Mans. It is Milan who got an awesome start, who just edges his nose in front. Thomas Kohlberg is trying to come back wheel to wheel. Look at Raymond Hertog in front of Ryan Clemenson in the distance. Ryan trying to come back, and here comes Josh Harper-Jones up the inside. And he smashes into Raymond Hertog, but he is through and up to P3. What about Mikhail Horst? Mael Castro and Arnie Brandhorst is in front of Felix Hoffman. And you've got Kevin Estre trying to make the move on Tim Schaap up the inside. They do slightly touch. Milan van der Weyken still behind Thomas Kohlberg. Ryan Clemenson is there as well. Here comes Josh Harper-Jones for the second time as we head in towards turn 9 and then down the Mulsanne straight. There is nothing to separate them, but it looks like Ryan Clemenson will have a little bit more straight line speed. No, he won't. Josh Harper-Jones is back in front. What can Ryan do here? It's going to be the last of the late breakers as we go down in towards turn 10. Who is going to be brave enough to go for it? They are still wheel to wheel, and so is Raymond Hertog and Richard Tychak. And there he goes off the track. That is Thomas Kohlberg in the hypercars that is off. Drama already. Mikhail Horch battling with Mael Castro, and that's the two leaders. Thomas Kohlberg and Milan van der Weyken have had a coming together from the lead of this race. Wow, Josh Harper-Jones is now the race leader. There is a driver that went off the track. I think that is Micah. It is. So, Josh leads. Thomas Kohlberg has got a lot to do now. And I think that is it for Milan van der Weyken. He's in the pit lane and retires. That's an early stop. Thomas Buter, George Benham, Mark Veltrot, none of them turned up. Lucas retired as well. Mirko Sibanala didn't turn up. That's a real shame. Raymond Hertog in P2. You can see Foucault Faru in the background just going into the gravel, but back on board with the GT3s. Here comes Arnie Brandhorst down the inside as we go down in towards the Mulsanne kink, and Mikhail Horch smashes into the back of the BMW, pushes him onto the gravel, and Mikhail Horch is trying to find a way through. He now gets the better exit, but at what cost as we come down towards Indianapolis at turn 20 and 21, wheel to wheel. But was this forced by Mikhail Horch? He's now in front of Arnie with that tap up the backside that has gifted him an opportunity at an overtake. Will Arnie come back? You can see Mael Castro in the distance going down in towards turn 20, but Mikhail Horch is through, but Arnie Brandhorst goes later on the brakes in towards Indianapolis, and now here comes Felix Hoffman with the overtake in that Porsche. Arnie will defend, but Felix around the outside. They do touch. Arnie's nearly around. They go 4 wide. Here comes Cody Frame. Cody Frame is through on Arnie and Felix Hoffman. It is drama already. Yeah, not sure what they're doing here. So the leaders, here comes Raymond Hertog on Richard. So through he goes. What about Marcel Fuchs on Matthew Wells? Around the outside goes Marcel, back down the inside towards the Ford chicanes. And it is Marcel Fuchs that is in front of the Cadillac driver. He goes wide. Matthew Wells trying to come back through. He looks for a move, but just not enough to get past. Arnie Brandhorst is on the back of Cody Frame, but Mael Castro already 3.5 seconds clear. We wanted racing. We have absolutely got it. Right, Richard Hubler, Max Scavenger, Matt O'Gubro. What about Daniel Kruber, Ivan Stefanov, Arthur Woods, Marek Odlas, Tim Schaap, Jamie Brass, Dennis Arifi in the pit lane. With Jamie Brass, he's just plodding along. Here comes Arthur Woods on Ivan Stefanov, trying to find a way through on that yellow Porsche driver. And there goes Nicholas Duncan. Sorry, he's in the pit lane. And Arnie Brandhorst. We've got a great battle here. Matthew Wells has been overtaken by Mael Castro. Macau Hodge. Oh, and he's on the hypercar. Matthew Wells is being swallowed up and he's getting right involved. I don't know how the GT3 cars are overtaking Matthew Wells here. He must have a problem in that hypercar. But that might cause a few issues as we go down the Mulsanne straight. And back comes Matthew Wells now. He will have the speed to just overtake all 4 of them. He doesn't want to slow down and get involved in this. So it is Cody Frame that leads this train of drivers down the Mulsanne straight. No worries, Thomas. I was wondering because I knew you was looking forward to racing. Arnie Brandhorst. Oh, he's down the inside on Macau Hodge. And for the second time today. And he's round Arnie Brandhorst. He needs to get back on track. I don't know if he's got damage. I don't think he has. He's a very lucky boy. Marin Kitagawa is going to now chase him down into the slipstream of the M4. There's still a lot of this Mulsanne straight to go. And Marin Kitagawa is going to make an overtake and move up to P6. I hope Arnie does not have damage. He was just pushing it a bit too hard. And just lost the back end. It's so easy to do. And Marin is up to P6, but I'm sure Arnie will not let that happen for too long. Oh, Milan van der Weyken, he said his game crashed. You are kidding. Matt O'Gubro with Marek Odlos on the back of him. And now here comes Arnie. We said he wasn't going to leave it for long. And he isn't. As we head down towards the Mulsanne kink. At turn 16 and 17. Around the outside goes Arnie. Later on the brakes goes Marin. That is great racing between the pair of them. That is what you want to see. What about Felix Hoffman? You've got Ivan Stefanov catching up to Marek in front. Tim Schaap on the back of Jamie Brass. These two have already had a coming together in round 1. But still some good racing. Josh Harper-Jones is in the lead by 3 seconds to Raymond Hertog and Richard Tychak. Mika and Ryan Clemenson. What has happened to Ryan Clemenson down in P5? We did not expect to see Ryan Clemenson battling back there today. And Robert Rockford on Stefano Lavarone. What an opening 10 minutes to this Grand Prix. That is what we want to see. Here comes Noah Schaefer on Max Scavenger. Side by side. Through Arnie at turn 22. Who can get the better exit? Noah Schaefer. We know who's got that qualifying pace. He's trying to come back in this race. And the 2 BMW drivers. 1 red, 1 blue. Rivals on track. Down in towards the Porsche curves. And Noah Schaefer gets the overtake done. So we can have a look at the gaps now. And have a look at this. So what about Felix Hoffman on Macau Hodge? He got a good exit out of turn 32. And Arnie Brandhorst on Lorenzo Gigante. And here comes Arnie with the recovery drive. Down towards the Dunlop curve at turn 1. Lorenzo leaving the space and Arnie is going to slot right into it. as we go down towards turn 2 and then through turn 3 at the Dunlop chicane. Arnie doing a really good job now of coming back. Here comes Felix Hoffman. Felix Hoffman's made a mistake. Robert Rockford and Stefano are through. And as easy as you gain it, it's as easy as you can lose it. Daniel Krupa is now chasing down Max Scavenger in the distance. Tim Schaap is still within touching distance of Jamie Brass. These two will happily get acquainted with each other again. So we go back on board with the rivals. Lorenzo trying to stay with Arnie. We've got Ryan Clemenson on Micah. So what about Lorenzo? Still 7/10 behind Arnie, who's now only 1.4 behind Macau Hodge. So he is catching up. Oh, and that is a bollard in the way. Daniel Krupa coming down that huge long straight. It's such an amazing sight to see. Look at that camera angle. Look at this racing. Look at this game. Look at these cars. And the broadcasting in this game is so good. Here comes Thomas Goldberg on the back of Ryan Clemenson. He is caught up. And Thomas, who started on pole position, is back with the championship leader. So that is Thomas 6/10 behind. What about Micah on Mika on Richard? And down the inside goes Mika. And is he going to switch it to the inside line? Ryan Clemenson and Thomas Kohlberg are starting to catch up. Arnie Brandhorst only 1.8 behind. And there goes Robert Hubler. That goes through on Daniel Krupa. And now here comes Max Scavenger as well, as he does touch Daniel Krupa. And Daniel Krupa now goes wide of Max Scavenger. Scavenger's a position away from Daniel. And both back onto that throttle. Who's got the straight line speed? Here comes Felix Hoffman. After that slight mistake, Richard Hubler on the back of Noah Schaefer. And then these hypercars, Ryan Clemenson to Micah to Thomas Kohlberg. Marcel Fuchs on Foucault Faru. What a race. So look at Ryan now. He does not want to get held up for too long here. Josh Harper-Jones, the leader of this race, with the 9 hypercars that are still left in. And here comes Ryan Clemenson into the slipstream of Richard Tyshak. And he is looking for the inside line, and Richard cuts him off. And he defends for the position here, Richard. And Ryan will have to think again. Oh, he smashes into him. And that will cost a position. And through goes Thomas. Picking up the pieces does Thomas Kohlberg. Richard will stay in position. But here comes Mika as well. And he will be looking for an overtake up the inside. He goes. Very close racing here in Le Mans. You've got Foucault Faru as well going for a move on Marcel Fuchs. But here comes Mika. And he is through on Richard. Ryan Clemenson now down to P6 after going into the back of Richard and nearly spinning him round. But Richard doing a cracking job of holding on. What about Lorenzo Gigante on the back of Marin Kitagawa? Here we go, the Mercedes AMG on the back of the BMW M4 has come down the Mulsanne straight towards turn 10. who is going to be the last of the late breakers. Lorenzo is through as he hugs the apex, and that is a great overtake from Lorenzo. That is what we want to see. Now here comes Kevin Estre. Is he going to capitalise on the struggles of Marin here? As we head down the second half of the Mulsanne straight towards turn 13 and 14. And Kevin Estre weaving left and right. He needs an opportunity, but they are very evenly matched. And it's got to be down to driver skill now. When the drivers are that close in pace, it all comes down to who's the better driver, who has got the bigger balls. As we come out of turn 15 and towards the Mulsanne kink. So Foucault Faru is through on Marcel Foot. Ryan Clemenson losing a little bit of time to Mika. And Kevin Estre still closing that gap to Marin as he goes around the outside. And it's too late. And he just pushes it too much. And Kevin Estre, all the hard work undone. He's going to have to try and come back. What about Robert Rockford? A little sluggish out of the chicane. And he might be under pressure now by Noah Schaefer. We know Noah Schaefer's got the pace. Now he's got to show it. And here he comes, the BMW on the Porsche. As we head down towards the Porsche curves at turn 23. And Robert Rockford is now using the car in front for slipstream, and Noah Schaefer gets the move done. Stefano Lavrone is in front of both of them. And Tim Schaap is in front of Jamie Brass. So I do wonder what happened there. And here comes Micah, and Ryan Clemenson is through in that hypercar. So it is all to play for. Marin is still there with Lorenzo. I'm sure Lorenzo will be well aware of Marin's presence behind Noah Schaefer. Piling on the pressure to Stefano. 20 minutes of this race down, an hour and 20 to go. It's a long time, it's a long way for these drivers, and I tell you, the concentration that you need to put in during a race like this. Here comes Marin. He'll move to the inside line as we go down towards the Dunlopshire curve at turn 1, and he will have the inside, but Lorenzo, and who is going to go later on the brakes through the Dunlop curve, and that the Dunlop chicane, and that is Lorenzo. Then we've got Kevin Estre on Felix Hoffman, the Porsche driver. Max Scavenger on Daniel Krupa. So we still have 19 GT3 cars still in this race. We've had a lot of drivers go out, which is a real shame. It is a real shame. But Jamie Brass carrying on, and now he's on the back of Tim Schaap. These two have already had a few incidents together. They are well aware of each other. So I do wonder if they'll give each other the respect. Here comes Noah Schaefer on Stefano. Stefano switches it back for the inside, and Noah's round. Noah just turns in there, and did Stefano need to leave the space? I think both of them could have done a little bit better there. I think Noah could have maybe just took a slightly wider line to accommodate Stefano, and Stefano maybe could have backed out as well. So they both could have done a little bit more, but I'll leave that to the stewards. Another incident here in Le Mans. A real shame though, two good drivers. Lorenzo has been overtaken by Marin, and Kevin Estre, a front row seat to the action. His front row seat is in a BMW M4 though. And Lorenzo chasing down Marin as we come down The Mulsanne straight towards the Mulsanne King at turn 17. And here comes Lorenzo in that Mercedes AMG. He'll try the inside line. And Marin will try and hook the outside and then swing it back in. And he'll get the better exit here, Marin. This is what he wants. We ride on board with him. He does get the better exit and into the slipstream of Lorenzo as we go down towards Indianapolis. And here we go. Marin is going to return the favour on Lorenzo Gigante. And the Italian driver is being overtaken. And Marin is through as we go down this straight towards the Porsche curves. And Marin Kitagawa back in front. Matthew Wells out again, types it. Yeah, I think so. Real shame for Matthew. He might still be in the race, Matthew Wells. No, he's still in the race. He's still in the race. Oh, he's into the pit lane. So, Kevin Estray now on Lorenzo. What about Lorenzo here? Look how close he is. And look at Thomas Kohlberg on the back of Josh Harper-Jones, who's in P2. So, Thomas will try and take P2, and look at that! How squirrely was that from Josh Harper-Jones? And he's going to go around the outside as we go down in towards Indianapolis at turn 21. Josh Harper-Jones will cut it back up the inside with the old switchback from Josh Harper-Jones. And now comes Thomas Kohlberg, who squeezes him. And they come out of that chicane wheel to wheel. Not a thing to separate them as we go down towards the Porsche curves at turn 23. Who is going to get their nose ahead? It is balls of steel time as we come down in towards the S's. And it will be Josh Harper-Jones that stays in front. Le Mans is not disappointing. And Arnie Brandhorst on the back of Mikhail Hodge. And these two expect fireworks. You always expect fireworks when Mikhail Hodge is involved. I tell you, he's not a stranger to the stewards, that's for sure. And he is a very defensive driver as well. He will put it onto your toes if you're going to go wheel to wheel with him. And here comes Arnie Brandhorst. Arnie, a great driver, very quick. So is Mikhail Hodge. So this should be a fascinating duel as we come down the Mulsanne straight towards turn 10. And it is Mikhail Hodge that does go later on the brakes and back in front of Arnie. Arnie will swing it on the apex as he puts on the pressure, giving Mikhail Hodge something to think about as he come down the second part of the Mulsanne straight towards turn 13. And Mikhail is going to stay in front for now. He got the better exit in that Mustang. But look how long this straight is, and Arnie will try again. And he's going to move it to the left-hand side. That means he will have the inside line as we go down in towards turn 13. And Arnie is back in front. And Mikhail Hodge backs out. And the Mustang will have to try again. But Arnie is through and off the reins. I know, Jim. It's so good, isn't it? You know what? I've got the game. I do commentary, but I've never done a lap. Mad, innit? I literally bought the game for comms. That is it. So in towards the Mulsanne King. Mikhail Hodge, a little tap up the backside of Arnie. And now he is piling on the pressure here, Mikhail Hodge. He did get the better exit. And we've got another run up towards Indianapolis at turn 21. Here comes Mikhail Hodge. And Arnie Brandhorst will want to defend this position. But how much defending has he got left in him before this corner comes up? Down through turn 20 and 21 we go. The Mustang driver is just ahead. But he rides the curb slightly and Arnie is going to come back at him. Side by side they go. And Mikhail Hodge leaving the space. And he goes deep and in towards Indianapolis. And back through goes Arnie Brandhorst. As he kicks up the dirt and the gravel. In towards Arnie at turn 22. So let's have a look at the grid progress of these drivers. So Macau Hodge, is he going to go for it? Surely not. Oh, he absolutely is. As we go down in towards the Porsche curves, they did touch. And the Mustang versus the M4. This is great racing, but look at Thomas Kohlberg on the back of Josh Harper-Jones. He's going to try again, but they've got a lot of GT3 traffic. They both go one way. One goes left, one goes right as they pass Noah Schaefer. And it is Thomas Kohlberg that is just in front of Josh Harper-Jones. But Josh will have the inside in towards the Porsche chicanes. And Josh stays in front again. Can Thomas respond? They go very close to the wall as we come down through turn 24 and 25. Some more GT3 cars to navigate through. And that is off the track goes one of them, and here comes Ryan Clemenson. He's joining the action. It's a three-way fight for P2. Raymond Hertog is only a second in front as we come through the Ford chicanes. That is Josh Harper-Jones up the inside. They've got to be careful as he just touches Robert Rockford. And they are all through. And that is Ryan Clemenson that goes through on Thomas Kohlberg. And that's why you've got to be so careful. He's going to go for the double overtake. Here comes Ryan Clemenson down towards the Dunlop curve. And Ryan is into P2. How quickly it can change. Wow, look at this. Josh Harper-Jones. It is 3 wide. Thomas Kohlberg. And Josh Harper-Jones is round. Josh Harper-Jones is into the gravel. Thomas Kohlberg is still on it. And Josh will have to come back through. And 2 more DNFs, I think. No, it's Matthew Wells in the pit lane. But there is another driver that has gone out. And it is Marcel Fuchs that is retired in the pit lane. What a shame for the hypercars when we're seeing so many good racing. Wow. Thomas still with Ryan. Wow, this is some exciting stuff. An hour and 13 minutes remaining. I mean, we've already lost half the hypercar grid, so can't imagine we're going to finish with many more. Here comes Max Scavenger being overtaken by Matthew Wells. Kevin Estre 2 seconds behind Marin now. Felix Hoffman, Macau Hodge is 8 tenths behind Arnie Brandhorst. Hypercar drivers are just coming through. We'll ride on board with Macau Hodge for a little bit. Jamie Brass, I think, is out there. I don't know what has happened. He was close to Tim Sharp. Dan Quinn as well. He was supposed to be racing. Yeah, Jamie Brass has retired. And so has Matto Gubro, Arthur Woods. Arthur Woods, a real shame for him. I don't know if he's finished a race yet afterwards. I know he's finished one, I can remember. But he doesn't have much luck on the track. Tim Schaap, Ivan Stefanov, Marek Odlas. And here comes Macau Hodge on Arnie Brandhorst. He's only 3 tenths behind him. So the hypercars are quite spread out. It's the GT3s, and Macau Hodge did make a mistake, so he's now 4 seconds behind. Stefano on the back of Richard Hubler. 1 minute and 10 to go. been a great race, hasn't it? I mean, we've only had 30 minutes of racing. So the gaps are starting to open up a little bit. Matthew Wells will go through on Stefano. Up the inside goes the hypercar, and then Richard Hubler as well. As the GT3 drivers just move out the way. Oh, and that is Noah Schaefer that's round. Noah Schaefer losing places. That is a shame for the BMW. What about Stefano on the back of Richard Hubler as he gives him a little flash to say, I'm here. And look how close Stefano is to Richard Hubler. It is the Ferrari versus the BMW as they come down the Mulsanne straight. And that is Stefano that will move to the left-hand side. Sorry, to the right. They are getting blue flags from the hypercar driver behind, but he's going for an overtake. He can't back out now, and they do move for the hypercar driver. And I think that might be Raymond Hertog. No, it's not Raymond Hertog. It might be, Foucault Farou. But it's so hard to try and go for a move and then move out the way as well. It is difficult. So Richard Hubler has lost a second to Stefano. So Ryan Clemenson only 1.6 behind the race leader. And he is starting to slowly catch up. Thomas Coburg is still there as well. I mean, Josh Harper-Jones, after leading the race for so long, has got a fair way to go now. So the GT3 cars are quite spread out, so are the hypercars, but Ryan Clemenson is on the charge. How many total in this race? There was 38 when we started. There's now 25. So 4 tenths is the gap for Ryan Clemenson. The championship leader is going to be looking at taking the race lead back. Matthew Wells going through on Felix Hoffman at the back. Sometimes you ride on board with these drivers, it's so good to see and listen to. Yeah, Jim, really, really good numbers. I mean, we've had so much interest in LMU, and the thing is as well is, because we're doing weekly races as well and in a league setting, I think it's really interested a lot of people, because you've got the platform and the system that we're using and hypercars and GT3s, and it's every week on a Monday. So I think it's just interested a lot of drivers, which is great. It's really good. It's taken off a lot better than I thought it would, but it's took a little bit of time as well, and a little bit of trial and error. And Ryan Clemenson has been amazing at running all the LMU stuff. He really has. He's manually input all the stand-ins and everything. He's been really good. And here comes the hypercar up the inside of Tim Sharp. You don't want to get in a collision with Tim, that's for sure. And the Mercedes AMG. You know what though, with Tim, very consistent Tim. He will keep going and going to try and pick up some points, and he will drive until the end. You will guarantee that, and he will give it his absolute all. A very respectful driver. Yeah. Yeah, Banana, did you have a collision with him? Because I was sort of worried about that. I was worried about that, and I sort of missed it. Oh, right, okay, that's good. As long as you just didn't have an incident, that's good. Banana, I don't know about the incident room. I'll have a look at it. Oh, and that's a hypercar off the track. And that is Thomas. That's into the runoff area. So he made a mistake. Oh, no, he's into the pit lane. So he's going for an undercut. And here comes Ryan Clemenson on the back of Richard Hertog. So Ryan Clemenson. He is 2 tenths behind Raymond Hertog. Is this the moment that he retakes the lead of the Le Mans Grand Prix? As we go up towards turn 9. So we will go down the Mulsanne. Sorry. We'll go down the Mulsanne straight now. And he'll have that slipstream to the driver. Here we go. 2 tenths is the gap. But the Mulsanne straight just isn't as long as when you're in a GT3 car, because these hypercars are so quick. Down in towards turn 10 we go. And Raymond Hertog is going to be able to defend this one. But for how long? Out of turn 11 and 12. And back down the second half of the Mulsanne straight. So a great opportunity for me to tell you about Formula 7 racing. So Formula 7 racing, we race every single Sunday, 10 AM, 12:30 PM and 7 PM. I don't know why that screen is capturing this and not the game. There we go. Yeah, so we race 10 AM, 12:30 PM and 7 PM. 10 AM, 12:30 PM, 3 PM and 7 PM on a Sunday, F1. Then we race at 7 PM every Monday, Le Mans Multiclass every Monday. Then we race on a Wednesday, Formula 2 at 6 PM and Formula 1 Realistic at 7 PM. And then we race Assetto Corsa fortnightly on a Friday and Le Mans GT3 fortnightly on a Friday. So if you want to get involved, we've got everything to tickle them sim racing taste buds. So just come and get involved. No game screen. Yeah, it's annoying, isn't it? So, but yes, let's jump back into the racing action. Bringing up the Le Mans intro. Oh. Stop messing about, Nathan. So Ryan Clemenson 3 tenths behind. The GT3 cars are so far spread out. We are actually looking into a safety car at the moment. We are looking into a safety car. So maybe by next week we might have the safety car sorted. Who knows? I'm hoping that the Le Mans Ultimate bring out the safety car before we have to manually bring it out. So I'm hoping they sort it out first, but it doesn't look likely. So here comes Ryan Clemenson again. Raymond is doing a fantastic job here, by the way. Thomas Kohlberg has gone for an undercut. Mika is still there. Mika is still there in P3. Well, no, I was looking at me being the safety car, but I've got a driver that's willing to be the safety car. So I'm going to see if Salute will make up an F7R safety car livery for the driver, and then gather all the cars back up and everything. Obviously, he will. The safety car driver will have to then post a message to all the drivers to say safety car is out. Will then press the yellow flag to say safety car like that, and then it will come up on screen to say yeah, safety car is out, and then yeah. Here comes Ryan Clemenson. Is he going to finally get it done? Down in towards turn 13. Ryan Clemenson is wheel to wheel with Richard Hertog, but Richard, with that great defensive work again, runs a little bit wide. Can Ryan get the better exit out of turn 13? Sorry, turn 15. As we head down towards the Mulsanne kink. Yeah, there's no way of actually bringing out a real safety car. So then obviously we just do it manually. And then we'll bring out the safety car from the pit lane and then let the drivers know that there's a safety car. And then we'll manually control the pace of the race. Here comes Ryan Clemenson. Is he going to finally get it done? Side by side with Raymond Hertog. As we go down towards Indianapolis. Nothing to separate these two amazing race drivers. And Raymond is back in front. Wow. Tom, that would be really cool, mate. That would be really cool. But I have got a driver willing to be the safety car as well, so it will be good if we can get that. And in comes Arnie, Brandhorst, Marin in the pit lane as well. So a lot of the drivers now pitting. Kevin Estre, Felix Hoffman, they are all in for their first pit stop with 58 minutes to go. But yeah, it would be good. And then when there's a big incident, we can then bring out the safety car, gather everybody back up, and it makes the racing better. It brings the racing back in when there's a huge collision and doesn't spread out the race. So yeah, it would be really cool to bring that in. I'm hoping by next Monday. I have had to change the calendar as well and skip one race because I got a new, I got a promotion at work. So I do now 3 weeks of earlies, 1 week of lates. On the lates, I've got no way of doing any of the commentary or anything for the race. That is Arnie, and there's a few drivers coming out. So I've looked at the whole calendar for Assetto Corsa and LMU, and there's just one race in LMU that I'm not able to do. So the drivers peel out of the pit lane. Kevin Estre on the back of Arnie, Brandhorst, Robert Rockford in front. And here comes Lorenzo. He's in the pit lane as well with Max Scavenger, Marek Odlos, Richard Hubler is on his way past the pit lane. You've got Tim Schaap and Noah Schaefer, who is retired in the pits as well. Noah Schaefer. Ryan Clemenson in the pit lane with Raymond and Mika. And remember, Thomas is on the undercut. Let's see where Thomas comes out in all of this. This will be interesting. So 1/10 of a second as they peel out of the pit lane. This is going to be close, but where is Thomas Kohlberg? He's coming through the Ford chicanes. Is he going to come out? No, he's not. He's coming out behind Richard and Ryan Clemenson, and he wasn't that far behind when he went in. So he must have put a bit more fuel in the car potentially. I'm not sure how it works with pit lanes, but he's even coming out. He's coming out going to be close to Micah here. He is going to be in front of Micah, I think, but he's extremely close. And no, Micah's going to come out of the pit lane, and he does go past him. So Thomas Kohlberg does go in front of Micah, but not that far in front of him, considering he went for the undercut. So Ryan Clemenson is in front of Raymond Hertog, and finally, Ryan Clemenson, the championship leader, is now back into the lead of this race. I do wonder if I can get the stream quality better. I'm going to have a look at it. What about Arnie Brandhorst on Robert Rockford? 55 minutes of this race remaining. And thank you all so much for tuning in and sticking with us. Really do appreciate it. I hope you're enjoying the race as much as these are and as much as I am. And if you do want to come and get involved, !Discord in the chat. You can come and get involved. We do F1, Assetto Corsa, Le Mans Ultimate, F2. You name it, we do it. iRacing is something we are looking into, but we don't want to overdo it in 1 year. We want to make sure that we put as much effort into each series. I don't just want to rush through and go bang, 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 bang. I want to make everything the best of what it can be before moving on to something else or opening up something else. And at the moment, our full undivided attention needs to go to LMU and Assetto Corsa. So yeah, and F1 is always going to be our main sort of thing that we do. We always put so many hours and so much work into Formula One to make it the F1 tier that it is today, with, you know, the 950 drivers, and there's so much commitment in that F1 tiers, and you know that's why we get 80 drivers every Sunday racing, and we want LMU and Assetto Corsa to be the same. So if you do want to come and get involved, you can do. So into the slipstream goes Arnie Brandhorst. Is he going to make the move on Robert Rockford? Going down in towards the Dunlop curve. Up the inside he goes. The BMW driver is through on the Porsche, and that was a very neat move. No mistakes there. He timed it to perfection. And then zebra stripes on the back of that BMW. Banana, what I would probably do when LMU comes to console, I would probably scrap LMU GT3 on the Friday and do alternate. So I'd do Assetto Corsa GT3 1 week, and then LMU console 1 week, and then Assetto Corsa 1 week and LMU console 1 week. I would do that back and forth. So I've already got it planned when it does come to console. Because the thing is, with console LMU and Assetto Corsa being on console, you can actually do both series every Friday. You can do one of each. So you can actually go, right, LMU, Assetto Corsa, LMU, Assetto Corsa. It would be pretty cool. Yeah, so LMU is going to be cross-platform. Oh, wait, is that going to mean with PC as well? Yeah, that would be interesting if it was with PC as well. So that would just mean that Mondays would just stay the same, or I would make up a multi-class with console as well on a Friday. But yeah, something to look into at the start of next year when it does come to console. Thomas has ended up 20 seconds behind Raymond Hertog, but I've got a funny feeling by the end of this race that gap will have dwindled away and Thomas would have made steady progress. I don't know why F1 Vegas Tier 1 didn't upload for some reason. All the others did. Robert Rockford, Kevin Estrade, 5 seconds behind. Then you've got Max Scavenger on Lorenzo, 1.9 in the distance. I think we're at that part of the race now, aren't we, where it sort of dies down a little bit. But we have been racing for 50 minutes. We are halfway. It's a long time to race for, though, isn't it? And these drivers, they'll be getting sweaty, they'll be getting agitated, they'll be the concentration. There you go, as we say it, the concentration levels of these drivers will be on high display now as Max Scavenger just goes off the track. And that's the thing, when you've got a race that is this long, you've just got to stay concentrated, and you just can't lack it. You can't take your eyes off the screen, and it's a long time to stay focused. But Max Scavenger with a slight mistake. And Raymond Hertog losing distance to Ryan Clemenson as he goes round the outside of Robert Rockford there in that pink Porsche, that now iconic Robert Porsche. Tim Shapp is still cracking on. He's in P15, which would still be points. And another shout out to the Overtake Leukemia livery that Tim Shapp is wearing, draped over his car, the same as Macau Hotch with his Overtake Leukemia. We have a friend who races here as well. Unfortunately, he is battling leukemia, so we send our love to him and, you know, wish him a speedy recovery from everybody here at F7. And it's a nice little touch there with that Overtake Leukemia livery draped on them, that Mercedes and that Mustang. So very, very nice touch. And you can see, look at that, Thomas Coburg has already made up 3 seconds on Raymond Hertog. That is massive. And I am thinking that Thomas is going to start to get quicker and quicker and start to catch up to these two in front, you know. So do keep your eyes peeled. By the end of this race, I've got a funny feeling he's going to be there. So the drivers quite nicely spread out now. There's not really anybody that's even close. It is definitely one of them races that has started to open up, especially around a circuit like Le Mans. And we'll have to wait and see if anyone brings the action. Okay, so there is a chance it'll only be Xbox and PS due to version control issue. Well, I did think that with, they'll keep PC and then console just between console. because I thought it might be very similar to a settled course. It would be really difficult, especially with the broadcasting ways that Le Mans do stuff and with all the overlays that they offer and everything. I thought it would be quite difficult to integrate that into a cross-platform with console, but we'll see. Hopefully, you never know. But even still, console crossplay would be pretty cool. But the good thing about Le Mans as well is you get a lot of like teams. I'm hoping that once we get enough drivers, because I've tried to do a couple of special events and give prizes away. If you win the special event, you get a £10 voucher and everything. And it's just not, the special events have just not worked out. But now that we are building up the grids for Le Mans, I'm hoping that when the next time we do a special event, it will be massive. And I might even do a trophy for it and send it out and all that. But we'll see. What was I going to say now? Yeah, that was it. So with Le Mans, you've got a lot of people that support each other. The game is so good. And you've got like teams, and you can create your own liveries so people work together, people do events together. It's basically like trios, and squads, but in cars. And that's why people support each other. So when you've got somebody racing, more times than not, you'll get people coming in supporting that driver because he's part of a team or he's part of their trio or whatever it might be. So it's a very supportive game as well. Thomas Kohlberg only 14 seconds behind Raymond now. Every time we look, he's made up 3 seconds. Kevin Estre is starting to catch up to Robert Rockford. So I do like that about Le Mans. You've got a very togetherness community with it. And you've got a lot more, with Le Mans, you've got a lot more mature drivers as well, I would say. That are just like, okay, this is how it's going to be, this is sim racing, let's be respectful, if we do anything wrong, let's just apologise, let's just move on, but yeah. So the drivers, Ivan Stefanov still there as he comes down the Mulsanne straight. You have the EFS team here. Yeah, see what I mean? That's cool. Yeah, exactly, Banana. But that's what I'm saying. They'll do like these big events together, but then they'll support each other in like smaller events, like a weekly multi-class. You'll get a driver that races for a team or whatever, and then you'll get the other team members coming in supporting them in them races. So you get a lot of people that come with the drivers. Like with F1 on a Sunday, what do we have? We have between 40 and 50 viewers every Sunday with most of the tiers. Maybe we dip to about 30 sometimes, 30 viewers. With Le Mans, it's pretty much the same. You get between sort of 25 and 40 viewers, 45 viewers. But with a settled course, you don't really get that. So it's good. I like the support that comes with Le Mans. And it's a nice community. It's a nice community. So Thomas Hertog 13 seconds behind Raymond Hertog. He is just absolutely in the zone, isn't he, Thomas Kohlberg? He is just in the zone. The Lamborghini hypercar driver just banging out lap after lap after lap. And he is getting quicker and quicker. And he knows that he's got a plan. He wants to make it back to the top 2. And with the way that he's going, he will probably catch up before the end of this race. So do keep our eyes on him. Kevin Estre as well, only 1.7 behind Robert Rockford. With 41 minutes remaining in this race. Been a long Grand Prix. Kevin can see Robert now in the distance. Arnie on Marin, yeah, 6 seconds apart. Well, you got Kevin Estre, 9 tenths behind Robert. And what has happened here, Raymond? Oh yeah, it's just the time there. Well, here comes Kevin Estre. Richard, who is out of the pit lane, but we go down the Mulsanne straight. This is where the BMW will start to reel in that Porsche driver in front. I make liveries for Matter. Why is it blocked, that comment? Let me have a look. How do you... What's up with that? Hello. So through turn 10, I make liveries for Matt on Richard and so on. If you want me to type in Discord. Oh yeah, no, that'd be really cool, Tom. I've seen Matt Goodbro's livery. That's one of my favourites. The it's like the white with the blue and the red and all that over it, innit? It's really nice. So 9 tenths is the gap. Kevin Estre, Robert Rockford did really well through that sector. Then you got Richard Hubler chasing down Stefano Lavarone. And then the other drivers are quite spread out. Tim Schaap up to P14 in that Mercedes. And 10 seconds is the gap now from Thomas. I tell you what, he's going to catch up to him a lot quicker than even I thought. And Ryan Clemenson needs to be careful as well. Thomas is on an absolute charge here. Well, he is putting on a masterclass performance here, Thomas. He is banging out some decent laps, and that is Foucault Faru that moves out of the way and slots in behind Thomas Holberg. Has anybody played Forza Horizon 6 yet, and what's it like? I'd love to do like some kind of league racing on Forza Horizon or something like that, especially with like the graphics and stuff. I don't know how it would work though. I tell you what, I'd love to do a racing league on, and I've always wanted to do something on there. MotoGP. I would love to do a racing league on MotoGP. And that is Foucault Farrow that is through. Matthew Wells is into the pit lane. Kevin Estre is second behind. Here comes Nicholas Duncan on Lorenzo Gigante. And the Lexus driver is going to try and battle for P11. Yeah, won it, Kev? I don't know how it would work, though. I don't know if you can do league racing on MotoGP. So, Nicholas Duncan, 4 tenths behind Lorenzo. The Mercedes driver will try to defend the position. But how much has he got left in the tank? It takes so much out of you. Thomas is only 8 seconds behind Raymond Hertog now. Nicholas Duncan has to come down towards the Porsche curves. Yeah, but I don't actually know how it works, Banana. How does MotoGP work? Can you do league racing on there? Can you give 2 people a team and a teammate? And, you know, like, can you put 2 drivers in the KTMs and have them as teammates for the season and all that? If you could, I would probably look at trying to do something with MotoGP, but I do wonder. Assetto Corsa Evo, I looked at that, Tom, you know. And it looks so good because the graphics are so good and the cars look sick. So, Nicholas Duncan on the back of Lorenzo. It is Lexus versus Mercedes, but he took a huge chunk of that apex. 36 minutes to go. Yeah, you can imagine Banana with his BMX handlebars on his bloody computer desk. revving the little gear stick. A little rally bike in his bedroom. So, and Nicholas Duncan 6 tenths behind Lorenzo. And look at it, he's in the green at the moment. 1.3 for Arnie Brandhorst on Marin. These two have already had a battle today, and we're going to get round 2. You do have a bike, Banana. In fact, I'm not even going to finish that off. I'm not even going to finish that off. Here comes Kevin Estre on Robert Rockford into the slipstream. And Robert Rockford, can he hold on to the position? Here comes Kevin Estre. The BMW going down the inside of the Porsche. They do touch. The Porsche driver trying to defend. But Kevin Estre forces his way through. And the M4 is up to P7. Now, what about Nicholas Duncan? He's lost a bit of time. He's now 1.5 seconds behind. And Thomas has made a mistake. Thomas is 35 seconds behind Raymond Hertog. He's going into the pit lane. What has happened to Thomas? He's made a huge mistake. And Raymond Hertog has been let off the hook here. So Arnie, 8 tenths behind Marin. Naughty Estre. And here comes Robert Rockford back at Kevin Estre. And he is back through as we go down in towards Indianapolis. And the Porsche driver, a taste of his own medicine here for Kevin. Down in towards Arnage at 22. And back onto the throttle. Who got the better exit? 2 tenths is the gap. Kevin Estre into the slipstream of the Porsche driver. Piling on the pressure now as we head down towards the Porsche curves at turn 23. But it will be Robert Rockford that is going to hold on to position. And Kevin Estre is going to have to be a little bit patient about this. Richard Hubler as well on Stefano Lavrone in front for P9. But here comes Kevin Estre. Arnie Brandhorst is on the back of Marin as we come out of the Ford chicanes. And look how close Arnie is on the back of Marin Kitagawa. The BMW driver being attacked by Arnie Brandhorst as we go down towards the Dunlop curve. He'll go up the inside. And the 2 M4s go wheel to wheel down in towards the Dunlop chicane. And Arnie Brandhorst is through and ahead of Marin Kitagawa. What a move here in Le Mans. Nicholas Duncan still chasing down Lorenzo, and you've got Kevin Estre still behind Robert Rockford. And a real shame that Thomas Hertog has retired, you know. Real shame, because he was in P3. That's some massive points. I think people forget what's on the line here. You've got so much on the line. Here comes Kevin Estre and Robert Rockford. You've got prizes and everything at the end of the season. A real shame that, because Thomas shown amazing pace throughout this Grand Prix. It's a real shame to see him go out, and here comes the hypercar flashing them both. And somebody did leave. Andrea once said, that was one of the drivers from this race that's just left. And here comes Kevin Estre around the outside, out of turn 13. And Kevin Estre, using the help of that hypercar in front, has cheekily got a move done. Nicholas Duncan now on the back of Lorenzo Gigante as we come down the Mulsanne straight. Will he be able to get a move done? Here comes Robert Rockford. And once again, he's not going to let Kevin Estre get away with this. Down in towards turn 15. And then Nicholas Duncan. Is he going to finally get through on Lorenzo? The Italian driver has held on lap after lap. And now he goes late on the brakes and they do touch and the Lexus is through. And Lorenzo trying to squeeze. And now here comes Ryan Clemenson in the hypercar having to go off the track. And Kevin Estre and Robert Rockford are still scrapping it out as we come down in towards the Mulsanne King. And the Porsche driver will have the inside line. Kevin Estre sends him on skates. And into the gravel goes Robert Rockford and Kevin Estre is through. Robert Hubler is now on the back of Stefano. We have got racing everywhere. After an hour and 10 minutes, it is still going on here in Le Mans. And into the slipstream goes Robert Hubler and Richard Hubler and on Stefano Lavaroni as we go down in towards the Mulsanne Kink. And he goes into the back of him and they both go off the track. Wow, that was close. Richard Hubler will have to try again. And he's weaving left and right. And Stefano is defending with all of his might. With 30 minutes remaining. There is a lot at stake here between these drivers. Pride as well. The Ferrari versus the BMW. And that is the BMW that is just flashing away at Richard. Down in towards Indianapolis. At turn 21. Still some really good racing going on. Well, the hypercars are pretty much done and dusted. Oh, and that's Ryan Clemenson trying to squeeze through. So we started with 38. We are finishing with 20. That is crazy. What would you want with the safety car? What do you think, Tom? What do you think would be best? Because I'm not quite sure. Good luck, Kev, with all your English and stuff. And this is Stefano on Richard Hubler. They're getting a blue flag as well. This is not good. It's Richard Hertog that is going to come through. Sorry, Raymond Hertog. But it is Stefano that is back through. And Richard Hubler with them blue flags waving. He has to just get out of the way. But that won't mind Richard. He will be having a nice little battle here. And sometimes when you're sort of in the back of the pack or you're in the midfield, you sort of enjoy having a little battle. You'll sort of maybe even lift off the brake, off the throttle and go, yeah, okay, I'll go back into this pile and have a little battle. And they are going to overtake a driver there. I think that might be Ivan Stefanov. It is. And Ivan Stefanov is going to be overtaken by Stefano and Richard Hubler as he gets the blue flags waving. And I'm sure that Ivan Stefanov will want to stay with them just to have a little race of his own. And that's one thing I can say about Ivan. He will always try to finish the races. Yeah, Corvette, mate. Let's try a Corvette. A Corvette safety car would be nasty, that. So, Richard Hubler and Stefano going at it again. And Richard is through a bit later on the brakes into turn 15. And here comes Foucault Faru in the hypercar. "25 minutes of racing remaining. Here comes Stefano. And he has now got an opportunity on Richard Hubler. He got the better exit with that hypercar being an inconvenience to these GT3s. And Richard Hubler has lost loads of time to Robert Rockford. What has happened there? 25 seconds he's lost. And that has put him in the grasps of Stefano. Well, that was not on the list today for Richard Hubler. I didn't see where he lost that. I do apologise. So the gap's starting to open up again, but we can't be greedy, can we? We can't be greedy. I mean, I weren't expecting to see any racing after an hour and 15 minutes, but we've managed to get it, so we can't be too greedy. We have had 2 hours of racing, and it has been really good, actually. I mean, we do have only 20 drivers left out of the 38, so I am a bit... So, oh no, 19 drivers now. That is crazy. That is crazy. That means we've had more DNFs than we had cars that started. Well, exactly the same, 19 and 19. But that's what happens when you've got a really long race like this. You tend to lose drivers rapidly, especially after like an hour of racing, an hour and 10 minutes of racing. It's such a long time that you'll start to lose drivers as the race goes on, because when you're racing for that long, unless you're racing for something, it starts to become a chore as you move through the race. And if it's not going their way, they'll be like, right, okay, enough's enough. Whereas in some drivers, like your Evans and your Tims, they'll just crack on and carry on and get to the end, because it's like self-achievement and accomplishment to get to the end, and I like that. But the game is so enjoyable as well that a long race like this, it's still enjoyable to continue to race. The night is starting to set as well. Well, it's starting to become a little bit darker out there, so the headlights are now on. Yeah, appreciate that, Tom. Thanks, mate. Thank you. So, Marek Odlos on the back of Richard Hubler, the car guy. Hello, you've all enjoyed this Le Mans race. I'm going to be honest, I am getting a little bit tired now. I have been up since 4 AM for work. And I did fall asleep actually just before I was supposed to open the lobby. That's why it opened 10 minutes late. So it's actually my fault that we are running 10 minutes behind. But I am getting a bit tired. It is 9 PM and 20 minutes left, and I've been up since 4 AM and I've got to be back up at 4 AM in the morning, so it's tiring. It's tiring, but that's what you got to do for the love of the game, for the love of sim racing. But the gaps are wide open. Every single gap is like... Oh no, sorry, I was looking at the wrong thing. Here comes Felix Hoffman on the back of Macau Hotch. And where has Macau Hotch gone? Into the pit lane. Macau Hotch, with 20 minutes to go, has peeled off into the pit lane. So, a different plan for Macau Hotch. Robert Rockford 2 seconds behind. I was looking at the wrong thing. I was thinking, bloody hell, everybody's like 30 seconds behind. I was looking at the Sector 1 times. Oh, God. So what about Marek Odlas? So the Ferrari on the back of the other Ferrari driver. And they've got that hypercar in the distance as the headlights beam down onto this circuit. 5 tenths as we come down towards Indianapolis at turn 21. I'm glad that we moved the Le Mans to weekly races. I'm really glad that we moved it to weekly races. Nicholas Duncan is into the pit lane. So we will stay on board with Marek to see what he can do with Richard Hubler in front. Oh, Nicholas Duncan says his game's just crashed. Oh, you are kidding. That's why it's pitted him. What is going on here? Oh, that is so unfortunate for Nicholas Duncan. At least he's still going to finish the race, but that is so annoying. Noah Schaefer, yeah, Nicholas Duncan is still going to finish the race, so he still will get some points, but really annoying for him, especially when you've spent an hour and 20 minutes racing. Yes, Tom, is that the last man standing, Marek? Let's get some overtakes from the guy. Come on, Marek. Put a show on for the remaining members of the team. Show them what you got in this World Endurance Championship here in Le Mans. And the night has set. Look at it. It's starting to become a beautiful circuit under the lights. And this is really the closest battle we've got on track. Everybody else is so far spread out. Ryan Clemenson again, the master in the hypercars, is dominating once more. Oh, and Marek lost a little bit of time, and onto the gravel goes Richard Hubler. No, it wasn't. It was Foucault Faru. And Marek lost 2.5 seconds to Richard Hubler in front. So the opportunity has gone for Marek. He is still going to finish P11 though. It's a great result and some decent points on the board. And with 18 minutes remaining, our last hopes of another exciting battle before the end of this race has just dwindled away. I did want to see a nice little battle in the dark, but I don't think we're going to get it. Which is a shame. So we are still riding on board, but he's now 4 seconds behind. Kevin Estray potentially 3.1. Who knows? Look at this. We might get a little battle, not between the drivers that we thought we were going to get though. As Kevin Estre is going to try and go for a move on Ivan Stefanov. And the BMW is through on the Porsche. We do get an overtake. Not for track position though. But we'll take it. Nicholas Duncan on his way back out of the pit lane. Stefano is also into the pit lane. That is interesting. Didn't expect to see him in the pit lane. So what about the hypercars? They are massively spread out, and Lorenzo is back in as well under Stefano. Just seen the gap just closing down. I thought they were close, but they are not. So that is it with 15 minutes to go. I don't think there's any more racing that we are going to see, but you never know. So do stick with us. Anything can happen in sim racing. We are live actually as well on Twitch and Facebook tonight, so anybody that's been racing has been shared to a lot of Facebook groups. So a lot of Le Mans Facebook groups as well that we've raced in tonight. So should be good. And we have put on some great racing for the fans, haven't we? We have put on some great racing. You've got to take your hats off to all the drivers. It's not easy. It is not easy to race for 100 minutes. So, Lorenzo down to P10. He is behind Richard Hubler. I do wonder if any of the drivers are going to struggle to get to the end. There seems to be a lot of drivers pitting for a second time. And Raymond Hertog is into the pit lane. So is Ryan Clemenson. So they have pitted again. Mika is in P3. Kevin Estre is 4 seconds behind Robert Rockford. So the sunshine is well and truly gone, and it is the night sky above this Le Mans circuit in France. I do love night racing, I really do. I am hoping for one last hoorah at the end, and Lorenzo may be able to catch up to Richard Hubler. He's going to be fresh tyres till the end. So Kevin Estre only 3 seconds behind Robert Rockford, 12.5 minutes of racing to go. What's been a very enjoyable race. 18 drivers remaining from the 38 that started. It is a lot that's gone out, isn't it? Kevin Estre only 2.6 behind Robert Rockford. Now he is starting to catch up. That camera thing off. So 2.4 Kevin Estre to Robert Rockford. can see him in the distance. He can see him closing up. This is for track position as well. Sorry, guys. So, track position. Can he make up one more? Kevin Estre from P7 to P6. It is the BMW chasing down the Porsche of Robert Rockford. Overlay to the right. To the right side, and times per drivers would be nice. What do you mean? And he's flashing him now. He's closing the gap. What do you mean, like intervals? Because it's got the gaps on it, hasn't it? Estre's livery does look nice, you're right. Yeah, I've put the you can't change where the track map is, unfortunately, and so I didn't know if it would look silly putting the display, the driver display tower on the right hand side, because it doesn't usually go on that side, so I just didn't know if it would look okay there, so that's why I just put it there. So 3.1, so Kevin Estre is not catching up, and everybody else definitely too far spread out that we'll see anything with the remaining 9 minutes. Thank you, TT. Appreciate it, mate. I will look at the layout and see if there's anything we can do to improve it. Definitely. So Kevin Estre in the BMW is 2.9 behind Robert Rockford with just under 9 minutes remaining in this race. Ryan Clemenson has been absolutely superb as he leads the way again. He leads the championship and he leads this event in the hypercars. Once again, he's 17 seconds clear of Raymond Hertog, who is a phenomenal driver in his own right. Kevin Estre only 2.7 behind, but he's got that hypercar coming up on him, and that is Matthew Wells, that is up to P5 in them hypercars. He's done a cracking job. And here comes Lorenzo. Lorenzo on the back of Richard Hubler. The moment we have been waiting for. So we are going to get maybe one more battle in the dark. And we did want one for the highlight reels, and we're absolutely going to get it. Here comes Lorenzo Gigante, the Italian driver on Richard Hubler, as we come down towards the Porsche chicanes. And then towards the Ford chicanes. And the Mercedes AMG all over that rear wing of the Ferrari in front of Richard Hubler. And with 7.5 minutes to go, who is going to finish in P9? Richard or Lorenzo? As we come out of the Ford chicanes and down towards the start-finish line, the Mercedes is piling on the pressure and Richard is starting to feel it. Here comes Lorenzo as we go dancing in the dark. Through, out of turn 33 and down the straight we go. And here comes Ryan Clemenson in the hypercar to get an overtake. 7 minutes remaining. Is Richard going to be able to fend off the attack of Lorenzo? Best Racing Team Boxer Syndicate. I like it. Here we go. The Mercedes all over him now. This has got to be it. This has got to be the opportunity that they're waiting for. Down in towards turn 7 and turn 8. Up the inside goes the Mercedes. And the Ferrari is holding on. In towards turn 9. Is Lorenzo going to go for it? And Lorenzo lost a little bit of time there, and Richard Hubler lives to fight another day as we go down the Mulsanne Straight. So he now needs to do all that work again. 8 tenths is the gap. Kevin Estre only 2 seconds behind Robert Rockford. Well, 5.5 minutes remaining. They might run out of racing time here. And these extra places will mean a lot. So Lorenzo down in towards turn 15 we go as we carry on down the Mulsanne Straight. Oh Jesus, the battery's going to go on my laptop that I'm catching the stats on, bear with me. So here we go. Oh, and he did get through. No, we missed it. Oh no, I was really hoping to get that. I was having to run because the laptop was about to die. That's so annoying. 4 minutes to go, but Lorenzo is through on Richard Hubler. We are going to get Kevin Estre though. 6 steps back to Robert Rockford. Is Kevin Estre going to finally get this move with 4 minutes to go? We shall see. The Ferrari went wide. Wow. Ah, thank you, Shimbo. I really appreciate that, mate. Shimbo. So here we go. And Kevin Estre. Oh! Robert Rockford is behind. He's made a mistake. As I'm looking at the comments from the stream, I missed it. So Kevin Estre is in front and up to P6. Arnie Brandhorst is still in P4. Then you've got Macau Hodge. Felix Hoffman, the Hoff, in P2 has been incredible. But let's just take a minute to praise Mael Castro. Mael Castro has been utterly dominant here in Le Mans. In that GT3 car. Mael Castro in that BMW leading the race with 3 minutes remaining. And he deserves nothing more than all the plaudits he's going to receive from the end of this race. What a drive, what a performance. And Felix Hoffman should be very, very proud as well in P2. And then Macau Hodge on for a podium in that Ford Mustang. A great drive from him. Robert Rockford, can he come back on Kevin Estre? I don't think so. It's going to be a little bit too late. 1.1, 1 second is the gap. Oh, he doesn't have enough fuel. He doesn't have enough fuel. And here comes the hypercar. Just gives him a little bit of a flash there, does Ryan Clemenson. So there is a driver running out of fuel. That is the problem when you come to the end of a race that's an hour and 40 minutes long. You do run the risk. So, the drivers, what a race. A minute and a half to go. 2 seconds, I'm getting a phone call, I do apologise. Hello? Yeah. So here we go. 8 attempts for Robert Rockford on Kevin Estre. A minute to go for Ryan Clemenson and Mael Castro to get this race victory in the hypercar and the GT3s here in round 4. And then we'll be back next Monday for our shorter races, the 1 hour races. We've only got 2 of these longer races in the season. And if you do want to come and join exclamation mark Discord in the chat, Ollie's in P5. So he's at Marin. So you've got a nice gap to Kevin Estre. So yeah, I think you're going to be safe. Where is Ryan Clemenson? So he is going to get one more lap because he's coming up towards the line. So he is going to get one more lap, I think. Or he might do. Oh, he's got 10 seconds actually. I don't know if he is. Is he going to actually reach the line? I don't think he is. So it might be over right now. It might be over. 3, 2, 1. And he is going to get another lap. Oh, so he does. He just makes it to the line. So the checkered flag is out. Mael Castro will come to the checkered flag. And that will be it. And here comes Robert Rockford on Kevin Estre. He's caught up to him. The hypercar driver is through. Surely not. Surely Robert Rockford can't get this overtake on Kevin Estre. He was doing so well as well, Robert, in the Porsche. I don't know if that's it. I don't know if there's another lap to go. Because Mael Castro is still on a lap. And he's just coming out of the Mulsanne kink. So here comes Robert Rockford. 7 attempts is the gap. Ryan Clemenson coming down the Mulsanne straight. And they are going to go for one more lap here. He's going to get one more crack at this. The race is all but done. But Robert Rockford could throw a spanner in the works here. Mael Castro coming in towards Indianapolis. Of what's been a great race. And here comes Robert Rockford. 4 attempts is the gap as they come down the Mulsanne straight. This is the one and only opportunity now. And the Porsche driver getting ever so closer to the BMW in front. Mael Castro coming through the Ford chicanes. But we have still got racing on track. Mael Castro in that fantastic livery. And he's going to come through and down in towards the Ford chicane. Robert Rockford still closing that gap, but I don't think he's going to do it. I think Kevin Estre might just have enough in the tank to fend him off, but Mael Castro is going to come through. And the GT3 driver of Mael Castro is going to come through and win here in Le Mans. Ryan Clemenson is going to come through as well, but Robert Rockford in towards the Mulsanne kink. Felix Hoffman is going to take P2 and Macau Hodge is on the podium. And here comes Robert Rockford up the inside. The BMW driver holds on. Kevin Estre holding on for that P6, but can he do it? Here comes the Porsche of Robert Rockford as we go down towards Indianapolis. Ryan Clemenson coming through the Porsche S's. And now here comes Robert Rockford. He's going to take the outside line in towards Indianapolis. And Robert Rockford is... Oh, he's crashed into him. Wow, that was close. And around the outside goes the Porsche. And through goes Robert Rockford on Kevin Estre. What an overtake. Ryan Clemenson will come through to win in the hypercar. The British driver, dominant once again. And showing his class on display. Ryan Clemenson wins. Kevin Estre will try and respond to Robert Rockford. Down in towards the Porsche as we go. Can the BMW driver get back in front of the Porsche? I'm not sure. And Felix Hoffmann is going to come through and take P2. And Macau Hodge in P3. But Kevin Estre, look at this. This is a sprint race to the line. The Porsche is wide. The Porsche is wide and through goes Kevin Estre. Through the Ford chicanes. Wow. And the BMW driver with his last gasp attempt has done it and pinched P6 away from Robert Rockford. Down to the checkered flag we go. Kevin Estre holds on. What a battle to the end. Here comes Stefano Lavrone being overtaken by Lorenzo Gigante as we go down in towards the Porsches. Absolutely action-packed all the way down to the checkered flag. What a last lap battle. And back comes Stefano in the BMW. Is all over the Mercedes. Down in towards the Ford chicanes, exactly where Kevin Estre did it. He'll switch it to the inside, but he's not got enough in him as we come out of the final chicane. The Mercedes brakes early. Over the chicane he goes. Can he get the better exit? It's a sprint race to the line, but Lorenzo holds on. Hoffmann don't have enough fuel to finish. I think that is he not already finished across the line. Oh, Macau Hodge is catching him. No way. Surely not. As we're going down towards Indianapolis, Felix Hoffmann might have pushed it that one lap too far. And this is going to be torture if he doesn't get this P2. And there is tears as Felix Hoffmann is being caught by Macau Hodge for P2. Oh, this is a real shame. Macau Hodge 4.5 seconds behind Felix Hoffmann. And he is going to take him. And Felix Hoffmann, Macau Hodge is going to push him to the line. Macau Hodge is going to push Felix Hoffmann to the finish line. I can't believe what we're seeing. He wants him to get the podium. Felix Hoffmann. And I tell you what, Arnie, if he'd have stayed out, I tell you, here comes Macau Hodge and Felix Hoffmann. Sportsmanship on display here in Le Mans. You love to see it. You love to see it. Felix Hoffmann, who has ran out of fuel on the last lap, is being pushed to the line by Macau Hodge. What respect. And I tell you, he's going to push him all the way to the line and then just peel off at the end and nick that P2. But he's still to push him all the way to the line. This is brilliant. This is what sim racing is all about. That is what sim racing is about. It really is. Yeah, this is beautiful. It is, Ollie. It really is. It's going to push him through the Porsches. It's going to push him all the way down towards the Ford chicanes. And the Porsche driver who ran out of fuel is being taken to the line by his competitor. This is so good. This is so good. We have witnessed one of the most respectful moments we have seen in sim racing in a very long time. Macau Hodge down in towards the Ford chicanes. And what a drive from both of these. Felix Hoffmann, who ran out of fuel on the last lap, has been pushed all the way to the finish line, to the checkered flag, from Macau Hotch. And Felix Hoffman is going to take P2. Macau Hotch is going to come through. And I don't know why it says Macau Hotch has taken P2. Probably because Felix Hoffman ran out of fuel, but he's been pushed to the line. And Macau Hotch, even though he tried to push Felix through before him, what a show of sportsmanship. That was brilliant. That was great. That was really, really good. What a race. There you have it. What another great weekly multi-class Le Mans event. I just want to say thank you all so much for tuning in and staying with me. I know it was a long one, but I really, really do appreciate the support a lot. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. I hope the drivers enjoyed it. What a community. What an amazing community we have. And what a fantastic load of sim drivers that we have here as well in Le Mans. So, yeah, really well done. We are going to be back next Monday for our round 5 of our multi-class Le Mans event. We are going to be back this Wednesday for F2 and F1, and then we are back on Friday for Le Mans GT3, and then on Sunday we have a break from our F1 tiers because of the bank holiday. So I will see you all back here in a week for the Le Mans race. Have a great week, everybody. Have a great weekend. It's supposed to be really nice outside, and then you've got the bank holiday weekend. So enjoy it, and I will see you back here in a week. Take care, everybody, and thank you for watching.